Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Stronger by Community. This is season 4, episode number 2. Super freaking excited for today's topic and for today's guest. Many of you might know that I am obsessed with interviewing authors, so when I found out that Tamara has a book, I knew I had to interview her. When I found out that she's obsessed with talking about people pleasing like I am because she's overcome it, knew I had to interview her. You guys are going to freaking love her, so let's go ahead and bring her on. And while I'm bringing her on, if any of you have had any experiences with people pleasing, please and let us know if you have any questions. And let's bring her on. Hi, Tamara.
Hello.
How are you?
Good.
I've been practicing saying your name, Tamara Camera.
Thank you.
I'm so glad that I found that out before I had you on. So, welcome. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself to everyone?
Okay, I am Tamara. I am author of I'm Enough Because I Say I Am. I am a full-time work-from-home mom of 5 boys. I live in a tiny town in Iowa, and yeah, this year all four of my boys went to school, and I had one that was still at home, so I put him in daycare so I could have days to myself every single day.
I love that. That's first of all, 5 boys. God bless you. And you're an author, and you're building a coaching business. That is freaking amazing.
Thank
So
you.
I guess that kind of brings me into my first question is, you've got all this stuff going on. You've got so many different moving parts. How has overcoming people pleasing allowed you to be able to do all of that?
I think the biggest thing was I lived for my children. I lived for my husband. I lived for my family for most of my
Hmm.
life. And when I finally decided, people ask me all the time, who are you? And a lot of times I would answer with my job or my titles. And I sat down and I
Right.
was like, who am I? Like, what do I even enjoy? And so I got to a place to where I had to figure out who I was again, who I was on the inside. And when I discovered my essence, I am light, love, radiance, joy, and peace. Like, that is my energy that I bring to the room. And when I figured that out and I was able to start doing things that I love again, it set me free, and I was able to do it. Like today, I curled my hair just for the heck of it.
I love that.
I did not enjoy curling my hair because I was always worried, I got housework that I could be doing, or
Right.
I have other things that I could be doing. But whenever you get to a place to where you're like, those things can wait, it opens up the possibilities of, what you actually enjoy.
Absolutely. And I don't know, I posted a video yesterday or this morning. I don't even know what day it is. Um, and I was just talking about how this weekend, I went out and I stayed out till 5 in the morning. Was it smart? No, but I enjoyed it. And
Mhm.
instead of beating myself up about all of the things that I didn't get to do yesterday, I was happy-go-lucky about the fact that I have the opportunity to spend time with people I love, and that's awesome. And I have no regrets, and I'm not apologizing for it. Sorry. Um, but the people pleaser version of me would have been like, oh my God, so many people are gonna think I'm just a mess who goes out till 5 in the morning. Nobody thinks that. Nobody gives a shit.
Nope.
Literally nobody cares. I hope your kids are not around.
No,
Um,
they're not. They're away.
um, but yeah, I mean, we tell ourselves all these stories of all the things that we have to do, all the things that we're supposed to do, when really all you need to do is ask yourself, what do I want to do today? What do I actually need to do? Obviously, as a mom, there's things that you do need to do. Um, Being in a corporate role, there's things that I need to do. I can't avoid them. Um, but we've got so many hours in a week, so many hours in a day. if you're spending all of those hours on other people, like when is there time for you?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And I shoot, housework is never ending here. And I was at a point to where when I wrote a to-do list, it was front and back. And I was like, I don't even have enough time in the day to do all of this stuff, you know? And I got to a
Right,
point where I'm like, do I want to do housework today or do I want to work my business? Do I want to have fun with my kids or, you know, like I had to put
right,
other things first. And when it came down to it, like I would rather put myself and my kids first over housework. Like there's always
right,
going to be dishes, there's always going to be laundry. And the more that I was able to sit back and release those things, like the more that I was able to actually enjoy my time. I wasn't constantly thinking, you know, well, if I don't do this, the laundry's not going to get done. Or if I don't do this, the dishes aren't going to get done. And
right,
it wasn't like I didn't have those expectations in the background
right.
taking me out of the present moment so that I couldn't be, you know, with myself or with my kids. So it was
Right.
like I had to release that to be able to actually enjoy my day.
Absolutely. And like, I'm curious, like, now that you have let go of that mindset of like, oh, I need to be doing all these things, are you feeling like a lot more present in your day to day?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, tell me about that. I'd love to hear about that.
I think the biggest thing was when the boys went back to school, Princeton went to preschool and I took Riley to daycare on August 29th. Like I will never forget the day because I was able to take my kayak. I didn't get to go kayaking, but I took my kayak to the water and just to be there, like I still had that slight like, you know, you could be at home doing anything, but
Hmm.
to be in that moment, it was raining that day and it was lightning and I got out and I danced in the rain for the first time ever because I was like, what else is there to do? You know, like we are taught in life, you know, you get up, you go to work, you do this, you come home, you know, you eat your food, you take care of the kids, you go to bed. Like it's the same thing over and over every single day. And
Right.
we aren't taught like there's literally nothing that we have to do in this life. Like nothing. My kids going
Right.
to school, that is a choice. Like I am choosing to send them to school. Like the only thing that we
Exactly.
have to do every single day is get up. Wake up. I mean, shoot, we don't even have to do that. We can sleep all
I
day, you
didn't do
know?
that
Like
yesterday.
yeah. Like there are no rules. Like everybody is so like society, you know, society says that we have to do things a certain way, but
Right.
we don't. We really don't. It's all about what you want to do. And for me, I choose to send my kids to school. I choose to take my youngest to daycare and I choose to work on the things that I want to work on and do the things that I want to do because I don't want to get to the end of my life and be like there's so much that I missed out on because I
Right.
was so wrapped up in what I had to do. And
Right.
I would rather, you know, if anything happened to me today, I would be happy knowing that I've done what I've wanted to do. And
Right.
I'm like, that's what it's about for me. It's finding my joy and
Absolutely.
doing the things that make me happy.
Right. Like if I died today, nobody would care that the laundry isn't folded.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
it's not, by the way. But
Right.
like, like literally nobody gives a shit.
Nope.
And I just think that like we have all these stories, but like, you know, when you start to let go and you start to really realize that nobody actually cares, that everybody just wants to be around other people that are like happy and fun and enjoying their life. And if you are spending your life obsessing over folding the laundry, obsessing over, we keep going back to laundry. I hate laundry. Um,
Yeah.
obsessing over all the things on your to-do list, how are you going to possibly show up as your best, happiest self? You're not.
Right.
Um, I want to switch gears a little bit and ask you, you know, since you stepped into this mentality and started focusing on you, have you noticed that other people seem to be more drawn to you?
I have noticed that it's not only improved my life, but it's improved my kids' life. It's improved my
Hmm.
husband's life. And I also feel like, I mean, I didn't know you, you know, like we've connected through the vines. And I feel like we're all, in a way, we're all connected on the inside. And like, we're meant to meet people in our lives. And when we're able to get to that place to where, like, you know, me 3 years ago, I was depressed and I didn't care about anybody but myself. And I
Right.
had to finally like take care of myself. And me at that level, you know, I would have pushed a lot of people away. But then
Mhm.
me at this level, I'm a totally different person than who I was even 6 months ago, you
Me
know? So
too.
I feel like we are all meant to get to places in our life, like vibration wise and like energy wise. And if we're not at that right level, we'll miss people. Like I've met people, I've met people in my life. My husband is a good example. We connected many years before we ever even knew each other.
Mhm.
And I didn't know him at that point.
Wow.
But
Okay.
I was with a different person and we had been in the same location, and when we reconnected, like we had shifted throughout our life, you know, and we were at that place to where our energies matched. So then that's
Right.
what brought us together. So we have to be at certain energy levels, and if we're not willing to release what we've been through, we'll carry that old energy with us for so long, and we won't allow ourselves to connect with the people that we're meant to connect with.
Absolutely. And I love that you just said that because it's like what it's bringing up for me right now is I have this group of friends that like I was always kind of like a wallflower with them because I was always
Mm-hmm.
so caught up in my own head thinking about like, oh, they're judging me, or like why would I be invited if they were judging me? That's like silly.
Right.
But like I had all these stories that like, you know, I should just be quiet. I didn't want to like make them think I was weird, blah blah blah. Like that was just how I thought. So I went out with them 2 weeks ago and I'm obsessed with them. Like they were like the coolest people. And one of them actually commented, like, I've never heard you like talk like ever. And I'm like, well, the last time that you saw me, I was a different person. I was a wallflower. I was so freaking concerned about what everyone was thinking about me that I didn't even give you guys a chance. I didn't even let you guys in. I finally gave you guys a chance, and it was a vibe, like, that we just connected. So it's like, if you guys are watching and this is like resonating with you, I want to encourage you, if you are standing around at social events or where or at your office or wherever you go and you're thinking that other people are judging you, they're not.
No.
Only you are judging you. And the second you stop judging yourself, you just be who you are. Like honestly, I walk around my office all the time. I'm such a hot mess and I own it and I talk about it. In the past, I tried to hide it. I tried to pretend it wasn't a thing, but everybody knew. Like everybody knew and nobody cared and they thought it was funny. And now that I can own it, I can kind of make it part of the conversation and people like that. So it's
Yep.
like any stories that you're telling yourself about people judging you, like why don't you give them a chance to get to know you first? That was my TED talk for today.
That's perfect too, because a lot of times, you know, the thoughts that we have in our mind, they're not even ours. They're just thoughts that we've heard other people say about people around us. And it's like, so then we create those thoughts, you know, that people are thinking those things about us. And it's like, they
Right.
don't even care. Like nobody cares about you the way that you care about you. Like you're the only
Right.
one that's thinking these thoughts right now. Like put those down and you can enjoy your life.
Absolutely. So, all right, let's switch gears again. I want to talk a little bit about boundaries because I think boundaries and people pleasing go hand in hand.
Yeah.
So, how would you define boundaries? That's a
Boundaries
loaded
for me,
question.
but yeah, boundaries for me is like choosing things that take up my time. For me, time is my most valuable asset. Like I can have more money, I can have more of anything else, but when it comes to time, we're limited on what we have. So I purposely choose, you know, every little thing that I'm going to be doing throughout the day. And if it doesn't align with where I'm at, like last week, my I got a phone call that my youngest had a fever of 102, so I had to go
Oh
get
my
him.
God.
And from Thursday of the previous week to basically last week, like I was nothing last week because I didn't feel good, and I was like, I'm not going to give my time away. I'm going to take it, and I'm going to use as much as I can to get myself better, because I know that I've put myself into a place before that I ran myself completely out of everything, you know, and I got to a point to where I was nothing for nobody because I
Right.
didn't fill my own cup. And I realized that if I fill my cup, it overflows into others. You know,
Right.
if my cup is empty, I've got nothing to even give other people. So I have to take time for myself
Mm-hmm.
to care for myself. And you know, I put myself, my energy, if it's not where I want it to be, I won't do things that I don't want to do.
Absolutely. Right. And like you said earlier, like people, we're as humans, we're kind of inherently selfish. We're thinking about ourselves. And so like if you are consumed with like all of these like things, like all these stories about why things suck, why you don't feel good, why you're not like feeling your best, how are you going to like have enough capacity, enough energy to really be there for other people? You can't.
Yeah. Mm-mm.
Um, so what would you say to somebody who is, coming to you, maybe one of your clients or somebody who just wants to hop into your DMs, who is struggling with, feeling like they're a people pleaser? Like how do I know I'm a people pleaser?
I think the biggest thing is low self worth. You think that, like, everything relies on what you're doing and not who you're being. I know for me, I was constantly trying to prove myself because I had an absent father. So I always thought I had to, you know, have the next best job or have the best income or have the best car. Like I had to have everything
Right.
perfect in my life, you know? And so that led me to being someone that I wasn't and basically putting on a front to be
Mhm.
someone. And when I dropped that and I was like, you know, I don't even know who I am because I've been
Right.
this person that I thought I was supposed to be. So I think the
Right.
big thing is like if you feel unfulfilled, if you feel resentment, if you feel a certain way about things in life, you know, you feel depleted whenever you've been putting yourself out there for so long and you're not being who you're meant to be. And that's when I
Right.
started to realize, you know, like it's time to rein it in and figure out what I truly want. And I sat down, I did, and I wrote down what do I want right now
Mhm.
on a piece of paper. And some of the things that I wrote, I was like, why do I want that? You know, like,
Right.
you know what? Why?
Yeah, right.
And
Where is
when I
that
was able
coming
to,
from?
yeah, when I was able to actually look at it, you know, a lot of them was like, because I'm a mom, because I'm a wife, because, you know, because of all of these things. And so it was like, shit, my to-do list isn't even for me. You
Right.
know, so I had to cross them all off and start again. And I was like, what do I want
Right.
right now? Like, what will make me happy? And that's when I started to see, you know, like what I truly wanted to do with my life and, you know, how to get to that point to where I could see what wasn't for me. Because a lot of
Right.
times we're people pleasing, but we don't realize it because we're so used to it. We're so
Right.
used to jumping when someone says jump. Like my husband, he gets a phone call from a certain friend and he's instantly, and I'm like, why? Like, you know,
Right.
like who says you have to jump right now for that person? And
Right.
that it just, yeah, and I think a lot of it was like unfulfillment was the true determining factor of like people pleasing.
Absolutely. And I think like it's actually interesting that you say that because I think a lot of people when they think of people pleasing just think like, oh, like I'm gonna bend over backwards for like everyone and their mother, or oh, I'm just gonna be like this person like around I'm gonna be like this way around this person. But it goes so much freaking deeper than that.
Yeah.
It really seeps into every area of your life because like you said, you start doing things or you attach yourself to the things that you're doing, but those
Mm-hmm.
things don't actually align with what you want. And so
Right.
you can really trace that attitude and that way of behaving to people pleasing. Because
Yep.
it's like if you ask yourself like why am I doing this? Oh well so and so said that this would work this way. Or why am I doing this? Oh it's because this person wants me to. Like
Mm-hmm.
when you are able to really pull down those stories of like what other people want you to do, it's amazing how much things change. this conversation 6 months ago, it sounds like for you too, but for me, I didn't think I was a people pleaser. I didn't know I was a people pleaser. Well, maybe I did. I don't know. I was starting to become aware.
Yeah.
um, but like, I would have, I would have felt like so called out, like I would have been like, oh, like I guess I do that, but like it's not people pleasing. Like, no, it is. It actually totally is.
Yeah. Yeah. Even with me, I was in network marketing and the end of month stuff, I feel like that's even a people pleaser thing because I
Right.
had to have certain sales and my team had to have certain sales, and so like every single month at the end of the month I was like, oh no, the whole world's gonna fall apart if I don't hit this, and it's like, no,
Right.
nothing's gonna happen.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, I mean, like for the longest time, I don't know if you had this experience, but like when I started my Instagram, like for this business, I was literally posting every single freaking day.
Yeah.
Like, who has time for that shit? Like, I have a 9 to 5 too. And like, if I look back at my posts, like, obviously, I love my former self. I love the fact that I was like able to put myself out there, even though I was like terrified. But like, my God, sweetheart, no.
Yeah.
What were
It's
you
exhausting.
doing? It was exhausting, and the captions were like so long. Like, I remember getting frustrated by the 2,000 character limit. Like, I would write like 4,000 character captions and then have to like try to whittle them down, and it's like, no. Like, now I can't even get to 1,000
Yeah.
because, and like honestly, like I said, like it comes around. Like we think that we're being so helpful. We think that we're giving so much. We think that we're actually serving people and making other people happy when really all you're doing is draining yourself and kind of draining other people because they feel into that energy.
Yeah.
Like, I don't, I also feel like I'm curious what you think about this. I feel like now that I'm no longer struggling with people pleasing, I no longer really make excuses and I no longer like have like stupid stories about like why I didn't do this or like why I can't do this. Now I'm just like for example, if I'm like late to work, I don't make up a whole dumb story. I'm like, yeah, I woke up late. Sorry.
Yeah.
Like,
You're like, we become more straightforward. Like we're just to
right.
the point, because for me, I know a lot of my issues was trying to look a certain way and trying
Hmm.
to be a certain way for others. And when I finally let that go, like I show up however I am now. Like my hair can be up in a ponytail, my hair can be greasy because my hair gets greasy
Look
like
at this.
literally 24 hours. Yeah. And before I was like, oh gosh, like I can't be me. And now I'm
Right.
like, I don't really care. Like you get me, 100% me.
Exactly. Like it's so amazing all the things that we do to like try to like impress other people and like
Yep.
I hate to be blunt. Actually, I love to be blunt. Um, I'm gonna be blunt right now, guys. Like people don't. You're not pleasing them. You're actually. You're not at all. You're actually. You're probably stressing them out.
Yeah.
Like now when I'm like around people, like when I'm around my friends who struggle with people pleasing, I love you. If you guys are rewatching this, I apologize, but um, I mean, you can just feel the energy when they're like trying to like impress and trying to like. I'm like that used to be me, and like I love you. You don't have to do that. Just tell me what's up.
Yeah, just be you. Just
Just be
just say
you.
what's there.
That's all people want. I think the sooner that we can all realize that and embrace that, like, it's a game changer for like the way we show up in our relationships, the way that we just approach life.
Yep.
So, if you're finding yourself like doing things that like don't actually make you happy, ask yourself why you're doing them. Like, start there.
Yep.
And if anything other than because I want to comes up, then explore that.
Yep.
uh, like if the first thing that comes to mind is like Stephanie told me to do that, no, no. I want you to, do you want to do that? Or if the first thing that comes to mind is Tamara said it on this live, like, no. Do what you want to do. Do what feels good. If you don't want to make a list of like all the things that make you happy, don't do it. I don't really care. But get clear on what you want. Sorry, I'm full of tough love today, I guess.
Sometimes you need tough love because it's like
Yeah.
when you finally realize like you're living for the wrong reasons, it's an eye opener, and you just sometimes you need that. Like if you're not doing it for you, if you're not doing it because you like it, then why are you even doing it?
Exactly. Absolutely. I'm curious if like, so I can't believe it's been almost a half an hour, so we could riff about this all day. Um, but I'm curious if there was like any particular moment where you were like, all right, I'm done. Like I need to like take ownership. I need to stop people pleasing. Like what was that like for you?
Mine was postpartum depression for the third time. I found out we were unexpectedly expecting our fifth child, and I was scared about what others were going to think. And I was like, why? Like, it's my life. I'm an adult. I can have as many
Mm-hmm.
kids as I want to. And it was just one of those things where it was like, you know, I wish I would have like known it sooner or understood it sooner. Like when you turn
Mm-hmm.
18 and you move out of your parents' house, like you're an adult. You get to make all the
Right.
choices in your life, you know? And for me, it was finally, you know, at that moment that I was like, why am I living for everybody else? Like, why am I not living for myself? And that's when
Right.
I invested in therapy, started going to therapy every single week. And then that led to investing in a life coach and digging.
Oh wait, Tamara, I don't know if it's. Oh, there we go. Sorry, your audio
Is it
cut
good?
out for a
I
sec.
had a phone call come
Yeah,
through.
yeah. I hate
But
when that happens.
yeah,
Stop
for
calling me. I'm
me,
live.
the the biggest thing was like understanding that this is my life, you know, and getting to that point to where I didn't want to be sad of anything. So it was like I have to do what's best for me. Oh no. My baby has a fever again, so I need to go get him.
Okay. All right. Do you want to hop off?
Yes, thank
All
you.
right. Yeah. Go take care of him. I'll talk to you
Have a
later.
life.
Thanks for coming on.
Yes.
All right, guys. Well, that was amazing. That was so much fun with Tamara. Unfortunately, she had to hop off and go take care of her kid, which is awesome. That is the definition. Like, she just gave you a great freaking example of not people pleasing, right? Because I don't know about you guys, but people pleasing me would have been like so scared to hop off in the middle of that. So I love that she just did that and went to go take care of what actually mattered, which is her child. So anyway, if you guys want to connect with Tamara, if you loved everything that she had to say, she has a book called I Am Enough Because I Say I Am. I actually read it. It is fantastic. And I know that she has an upcoming webinar on Wednesday. I can't remember the topic, but I'm going. I'm so excited for it. It's going to be awesome. And then she also has a really cool, some kind of like one-on-one or group confidence coaching program. I will have her write something about it in the comments if that's something you are interested in. Anyway, thank you all for tuning in. I love you all. If you have any questions, comments, thoughts about people pleasing, drop them below in the comments and feel free to shoot us a DM. Love you guys and thank you so much for being here.